I thought we were old pals. How do you know my secrets? Mind reader, huh? I can guess what you were thinking too. I chuckled and accurately named name and details of our neighbour Fatso, not just him, but I know the scoop on all the newbies. Fatty asked if I hacked the airline site to get the list. I smugly replied, I just need to hack your phone. At that moment, I was still bragging about my skills. Little did I know, I was getting closer to the dark abyss. Fatty told us we had a layover of 7 hours. To kill time, he bought us all tickets to a drag show, claiming it was for team building. This cabin was full of politically enlightened young men. To claim I'm not excited is false. The perks are great. Jumping ship was wise. After getting off the plane, Fatty collected everyone's passports under the pretense of handling the layover, took us on a bus to a show venue, and we all started snapping pics of our new surroundings. But when we entered an alley, some beefy guys blocked our path and started beating us up. Seeing trouble, I bolted. The goons chased me relentlessly, and while I was looking back, I didn't notice I had 2 phones waiting up ahead. Just before I passed out, I noticed the person who knocked me out was Fatty, but I was too dazed to think straight. When I came to, we were all in a bazaar compound. A bespectacled man approached us, claiming his last name was. He said this was his turf, and we were now his help. After getting a beating, we were dragged here without a clue. Everyone was feeling disgruntled, but for some reason, he was still standing there waiting, and we weren't having it. Naturally, resentment ran high. People shouted to leave, yet the next round meant another beating. As the scene grew chaotic, Manager Lou whipped out a gun and fired a shot. After the gunshot, all fell silent. Manager Lou then smiled and toured us around the company. The company had 3 floors, mainly dealing in stocks, cryptocurrency mining, and online gambling. The first floor, more like a prison than it was dim and stuffy, and the folks talking to clients were called dog bushers, and they mostly hung around. The base pay there was $8,000. The second floor was a whole lot better, brighter, and more pleasant. This level had better equipment, and the main job was coding websites, with a base pay of $30,000. The third floor was a different world, with sexy dressed attendees playing various gambling games. Whatever gambling games come to mind, they played them all: Dragon, Tiger, Baccarat, etc. After the tour, Manager Lou took us to the cafeteria and asked if we wanted to join him. His paychecks were definitely guaranteed. Subtitles, no phones, no outside contact. Though he touted the compound, I knew well. This was nothing but telecom fraud. Even though I longed for a high-paying job as a law-abiding citizen, I certainly wouldn't cross the line. So, I was the first to say I wanted out, and the next second, Fatty slapped me to the ground and whipped out a gun. He aimed it straight at my head. Fatty looked completely different from the jolly guy from the plane. His eyes were like daggers. Subtitles, they pierced deep into my pupils. He was the butcher, I, the slaughter-bound lamb. My knees shook uncontrollably. Tremors weren't from the cold, they were my body's primal response to the death threat. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that when I signed that lucrative overseas contract, destiny had already locked my fate. I was like a frog in boiling water. By the time danger was sensed, my legs were cooked. Now the gun's ominous barrel looms. It was showing me this brutal truth. Surviving here wasn't a right. It was a privilege to be fought for. That night, Fatty took us to the dorm, actually an abandoned warehouse. Each had only a mat for a bed. Since entering the compound, I hadn't contacted my family. I knew if I went missing too long, they'd definitely call the cops. Subtitles. Then I would truly be saved. But unexpectedly, my thoughts were far too naive. I just wanted to send my family a quick update. Oh, and drop a line to your mom. Tell her it's beautiful here, and I'm having a ball with the board. After I sent the safe message, Fatty yanked a guy out of a cage nearby. He was crying, saying he wouldn't escape again. Everyone was terrified. This was the fate of those who tried to run. The next morning, we donned the compound's uniform, and before we worked, we had to endure managerless pep talk. If you want success, you have to make some noise first. No guts, no glory. Work hard now for future generations. Push through the grind. Today's hustle leads to tomorrow's empire. Let's go. Time to work. Fatty assigned me a task, but I just couldn't wrap my head around it. The outcome of deceiving without obeying orders is simple. I won't break the law for a meal. Fatty whacked me on the head with a keyboard and then twisted my ear, demanding an answer. I had to respond, or, well, you get the idea. Otherwise, it will not end well. Just then, Manager Lou stormed in, scolding Fatty for being too rough and made him apologize and repeat the job requirements. Just one night had passed,